Hi guys, my name is Rex Anderson and this is my friend Kerry Jackson. And we're here today to play with some guitars. I've known Kerry for over 25 years. He's a studio musician here in Phoenix, has been on thousands of recordings. And we were talking earlier this year about wouldn't it be fun just to get together and have him try some guitars that he hasn't had a chance to play and kind of get his reaction to them. And that's what we're doing here today. We've got a guitar that is new to him. It is maybe a couple years old for me, but this is one that I found used in a used shop here in town. And it really surprised me when I plugged it into a Fender Princeton. And as a matter of fact, that's what we're going to do today. We've got him set up with his Boss GX100, and it's going into a Princeton reverb. And I've got a mic on the reverb, on the amp, going into the board, and we also have a direct signal coming from his pedal down there. But today, the purpose is just to have Kerry take a look and feel and play a new guitar and see how he reacts to it. So let's have some fun. We were commenting the case. This is a Godin. Godin. I'm not sure the pronunciation. I did meet the man over in NAMM this year.
Monsieur Godin himself.
Yeah, and he was really nice to me, and I looked at the new models they had, but this one I found in one of the shops, and it just spoke to me. So I'll see what Kerry thinks about it. Let's go ahead. I'll turn it over to you, Kerry.
And also, just to reiterate, every video that we do for you, these are true surprises. I have never seen these things. They've never been in my hands. I don't know before I open the case what it's going to be, so it's not, oh, okay, he's going to give me the so-and-so, so I'll play a bunch of heavy metal or there's like no preconceived notions, which is really fun. Let's just see what the instruments tell us about themselves. This brand never gets the love it deserves, does it? You always, anytime that you look into Godin or Godin or however it's properly said, they don't do anything but make good stuff. And they've just been quietly chugging away at it forever. Look at that, man. What a classic. P90 wonderfulness. Those are P90 pickups.
Yeah, so this is the second guitar in these first 4 videos that we've done that has P90 pickups. This guitar was I turned on to this one through our mutual friend Andy Kern. He was the one that got me going in this direction, and he's got an electric Godin that's really a nice guitar, and maybe that'll make it down to one of our videos at some point in time. But this one, like I say, for me, it was all about tone. I had no guitar in my collection that was exactly like this in any way, shape, or form. The closest was that old DeArmond sitting back there.
Old DeArmond.
But that's more of a Gretsch style guitar, and this one harkens back to something before that. But yeah, it's a cherry wood finish on the front and back and sides of it.
And a natural wood, but satin finish that's really pretty.
And on that one, we've got a maple neck on the back of it.
Is it made of cherry wood, or is that just what the finish is?
No, it's a cherry wood. It's a wild cherry wood is what they call it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the specs while you've got it up there.
Oh, and it's a couch acoustic at 3 in the morning when you don't want to be too loud and wake someone up, but still play a good sounding guitar with resonance. This is when it's not plugged in, it already does that.
So they list it as a Canadian wild cherry, and the neck is silver leaf maple, and the fretboard is rosewood.
Wow.
On it. So there's a combination, and it's got 2 Godin Kingpin P90 single coil pickups on it. Scale length on this one is 24.84, so a little under 25.
Wow.
And the fret radius is 16 inches, 44 millimeters or 1.72 nut width on this one. 3-way toggle switch, tone and volume. Pretty straightforward from there.
And of course it has a maple neck. No self-respecting Canadian guitar would eschew maple entirely. It's almost your national duty. Boy, cherry wood. Well, that's neat, because when I looked at it, I thought, this is such a nice color, and usually like red stains go a little too far, or they don't quite look like I want them to. And but yeah, Rex said this is actual Canadian cherry wood.
That's what they list it as. It's called wild cherry. So Whether that's something else that's staying there, I don't think it is, but that's how it's listed on.
But the stain on it or whatever
yeah.
is very aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing. I like the subtle redness of it.
Body size is interesting too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice that it's a big old jazz guitar that's not a big old guitar. You know, I'm not like going like this to play it.
It's not a heavy guitar either.
No,
It's not.
it's got a really nice
It's
light.
really lightweight.
Yeah, it's really great to have a style like this that's not such a big beast to wrangle. You know, this more, you know, hardly bigger than a Les Paul profile, but still, you know, hollow body, carved top, carved bottom, and nice rounded contours going there. Pretty.
So we'll take a few minutes. Actually, if you want to strum it unplugged there for a second again, just to get the overall tone of it. It is a guitar that you can sit on the couch.
Yeah, it sounds so good unplugged. Little out of tune, but you know, but your wife's sleeping and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to write something on the acoustic. Well, this is sort of your half volume acoustic because it's still got the resonance and the feel that you'd want.
So we'll get it tuned up here and we'll be back in a minute with Kerry playing. Okay, so we have the Godin 5th Avenue Burgundy here in front of us, and we got it tuned up and plugged into the Princeton reverb. So we'll let Kerry play around and see what he thinks.
It sure is aesthetically pleasing. I'm a big fan of, I want guitars to be elegant, but you know, sometimes the deluxe models have 18 more inlays and flowery things down the necks and striped white things around everything and stuff. And for me, this one has the class and the old jazz, you know, classic thing. But I like just with the dots and just let the beauty of the wood and a simple line of the binding and stuff. It's just really elegant to me that way. I'm glad that they didn't try to, you know, junk it up with too much mother of pearl and abalone and stuff. And these P90s, I was just saying to Rex, whenever I play something with good P90s on it, I'm like, why do we have other guitars? Why doesn't everything I have P90s on it? And I've been really doing that today because he's given me a couple of winners with P90s. Really nice, huh? That's in the middle. Makes you want to be that guy. Yeah, whatever. Man. Yeah, get a couple of
big full sound, huh?
Yeah. Get a little group that can do, you know, Andrew's Sisters E harmonies and stuff, and you just sit on the end all night and, you know, be their guy while they do little close harmonies. And like we were talking about earlier and on our other videos and stuff, I just like stuff that challenges people's preconceived notion. I think I could show up in a funk band, a rock band, and play all night on a thing like this. And they'd be going, why does he have some old jazz guitar? You know, but listen to these pickups. They just do whatever you want.
Probably even do some distortion with some Neil Young kind of stuff on there too. Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah, well, we
Wow.
could really
Wow.
Neil Young and Buffalo Springfield out on this. We're avoiding existing songs for obvious reasons. I'm sure you hear people on the internet all the time say this, like I would love to sit here and run through like a jukebox every song you've ever heard, and then all of a sudden Rex would have U.S. Marshals at his door or something. Yeah,
Nice.
can't get a bad thing out of it. What would be like an unlikely thing might be to get more distorted, but I bet this thing is cool that way. It's that bridge, good. Ooh, both pickups. Wow, it's funny because this one, plays more like a jazz guitar, slightly acoustic. The strings aren't super slinky, light, or bendable. It's got a little more heft to the action. But does that mean it ain't going to sustain? You heard that. Imagine if that was loud and I was in a club or something. I probably could have made that high A feedback for a half hour. It looks like a true hollow body too, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a center.
Yeah, there's no block in it, which is usually a detriment. I'm thinking that's a big deal for this thing. I'm playing distorted sounds, and things without the center block under the bridge. People always say, "Oh, you can't use a hollow body guitar with any distortion on it or whatever." Well, what was that? Yeah, what if something had even more on it? It sounds pretty, doesn't it? It's funny that's like a ton of deadly distortion, but instead of yeah, I can. It just sounds melodic and nice, kind of. And then this secret weapon on the neck. Cool. Let's take it into something you might more expect for its territory there. Yeah, let's try its more strumming capabilities, which it seems to me it would have considerable success at. Yeah, I'm playing like 5, 6 strings too, and it's not turning into electric guitar mud.
Yeah.
It's not just going. It's sweet.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kerry. I think it's taken me on a little journey there. I'm thinking, yeah, we need to get back in the studio and put some of these to use.
Another champ. And that's the beauty of guitars. You know, people that don't play or whatever sometimes, and they'll see a guy like Rex who likes to spend his money on guitars and go, "What? You know, when will it end? What are you doing?" But come on, how different can these things be that we've been doing videos of so far? You know, the other guitars didn't make me feel anything like this one. So all of a sudden, I'm, you know, Mr. Flamenco and stuff because it's just inspiring you to hear all these other things. And the strumming, man, if you had a gig where you wanted to strum a lot on electric guitar, did you hear that? It had the warmth and the breakup and the real electric guitar sound, and at the same time, every string, ring, you know, it wasn't crunching out at all. So, well, I'm glad Rex is buying a lot of guitars and has a lot of guitars because I hope we continue to do this. I'm having a very good time.
Well, and to be honest, a lot of these guitars have been acquired over the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And
it's not like you bought them
it's
last
not
week.
all coming in at one time, but certainly during COVID, it probably picked up a bit more at that point in time. But as Kerry knows, I've got some older guitars that we've had for 25 years plus that are still, you know, once a good guitar, it's always a good guitar. And I don't tend to sell too many. I do give away a few guitars to people that I really want to inspire, and that's as much fun as anything as giving a guitar or giving an instrument to somebody. But
that's pretty wonderful.
But it motivates me to go out and as I sit here and listen, I'm hearing songs. I'm thinking, wow, wouldn't that be cool on this type of a song or this kind of a melody coming out of it. So thanks, Kerry, and thank you guys for tuning in and taking a listen to a couple guys who just like guitars, man.
I like guitars.
We like doing this stuff.
You're like meant to have guitars. Remember, when did you win the GNL?
Oh, yeah.
He had, what do they call those with the Z-shaped pickup?
That was sometime in the late 90s. I was at a friend who was playing at a show, but part of the show was a guitar exhibit there, and GNL was there, and they had a little trivia contest. And I just happened to know something about GNL because it was the first nice electric guitar I bought was a GNL ASAT, which is like a Telecaster.
Yeah, the Telecaster.
And that was my first really nice electric guitar. So I knew a bit about those guitars. So I hit a lot of the questions right on the drawing. And sure enough, they pulled my name out of the hat and they gave me a wonderful blue Comanche, which is a
Comanche, that's what they call
Strat style with coil Z pickups that I still have today. I did sell the old, the first one, the ASAT I sold and kind of regretted selling. But the Comanche I've held on to, and I played that at a lot of outdoor gigs because it was always this rock solid, stable guitar. But now, each year that goes by, I kind of learn more about what those guitars were and why they're so different from a regular Stratocaster.
Yeah, I've been finding out more too. Well, G&L, for those of you that don't know, the L is Leo Fender, and after Mr. Fender was legally or technically not affiliated with the Fender company, and isn't George Fullerton?
Yeah, George Fullerton.
Yeah. So the original, there would be no Fenders without these guys. Said, all right, well, let's build some new guitars during the 80s, 90s, whenever the heyday. Well, there's still G&Ls, but I mean,
they started making them in the
when those guys were alive, even
1980s, I think.
Yeah, 80s it was.
First came out. Maybe sometime we'll bring that one out and kind of revisit it.
Yeah.
But I did get a chance with my friend Tom.
To some
Hughes.
people, they were the true Fenders because they're actually made by the guys who designed and made the Fenders in the first place.
And I got a chance to meet George Fullerton at one of the NAMM shows many years ago and thank him for what he did to create those guitars. And he's passed along, as has Leo Fender. But the little certificate in that case is signed by his wife. And
nice.
Yeah, so that's.
But I just knew years ago. I remember I was laughing about it. Rex comes back and he goes, "Look what I won." I thought, all right, God wants you to have cool electric guitars. I now accept this as a fact, and that's just all there is to it. And that's it. Yeah, I would love to see that thing again. It's nice.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and if you like what you see, give us a like and give us some comments. We'd like to hear from you. Once again, we're just a couple guys that like guitars and thought, let's throw a few videos out there of things that we like and see how Kerry reacts to them. If you want to check out music from the two of us, you can go to Rexmatic Records, rexmatic.com, and you can see some of the music there that we've created over the years with the Big for His Age projects. Thanks a lot.